What's up, guys, and welcome back into the Rams house. Thank you so much for stopping in. Today, we're going to be talking about Van Jefferson and if he's going to break out next year, and what are the things I like about him because we really didn't see him much last year. Sean McVay really didn't implement him into the offense much because Josh Reynolds was that kind of third receiver guy and was taking reps from him. So we did not get to see a lot, and a lot of people just don't really know what he brings to the table. And I honestly think he could break out next year. Honestly, there are some big guys that he would have to not really pass up, but he kind of have to be getting a lot more targets than like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. But I think that's honestly that might not even be true. He could even get it with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods having 1,000 yard seasons because of now we have Matthew Stafford. We're gonna be a lot better in this passing game now than we were last year because honestly last year's passing game offense with Jared Goff was just it was terrible, and with Matthew Stafford it's a level up. But we're gonna see a lot of guys who we knew were good, but they're going to look a lot better because of Matthew Stafford. We've already talked about that before, but this I think implies with Van Jefferson as well. I honestly think that this does because he is an amazing receiver. You hear the Rams players, you hear Sean McVay, Les Snead raving about him. They would not have spent their pick in the draft last year, and it was an early pick for them. They would not have spent that if they didn't believe in this guy and like him. And some of the things that I think he brings to the table and that he just does bring to the table that like if you're unfamiliar with him, these are kind of the things that he brings to the table. He's an excellent route runner. He's very crisp at it. He does remind me a bit of like a Julio Jones or Michael Thomas, maybe a mix. He's very great at that route running, and that is something that kind of sets him apart. He's great at, I guess, like fluking guys into thinking he's doing another route and then coming back. He's just an excellent crisp route runner. That is just what defines him. He's also a very physical receiver. He'll go up, he'll grab those balls over the defenders, and he'll most of the times he'll come down with it. He has got excellent hands. I wouldn't say he's the speediest guy, but he does have some of those explosive plays. You definitely have to be worried about him. But with Deshaun Jackson, obviously, I think that more of the explosive plays will go his way if he stays healthy because of that speed that he brings and the threat he brings. But that's another point. I don't think a lot of people think that with us adding Deshaun Jackson, we're just going to keep Jefferson out of the offense like we did last year, and I don't think that's the case. I think with Deshaun Jackson, he's not an every down player, and we'll put him in, but not for all the snaps because of his injury history. We'll put him in, and we'll want him to get those big plays, maybe even some underneath stuff with the speed. He's not going to be an every down guy, and Jefferson is definitely going to have more snaps this year than he did last year in his rookie year because he honestly did not have that many. McVay just doesn't seem to add his rookies in whatever he does unless it's actually like the only guy they have. He seems to kind of softly put him in, and if he likes what he's seeing, he'll continue with it. But since our receiving core already had Josh Reynolds and our offense just wasn't the best last year in the passing game, we just didn't put Jefferson in that much. But this year, I think he's gonna be in there a lot more, and I think he's gonna be a breakout player because first off, you have Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, and even on some plays, Kupp or Woods could be subbed out, and we could have Deshaun Jackson in there. He could be taking up the top off the defense while Van Jefferson's doing great routes to get open, and that would be you would have to find somebody to cover it, and then obviously Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, whoever's in at the time, could be the guy that you would have to have a threat with. But honestly, if I can't put in his highlights in this video because it would give me copyright, but I want you guys to look up Van Jefferson's highlights, and I think the first thing you'll notice is that footwork and the route running. That is an amazing thing he brings to the table. And honestly, so I heard some people saying that he was a bust from last year, and I'm gonna tell you that's not true. He is an amazing player. He's got so much talent on him too. But we just really didn't use him that much. And like I said earlier, Sean McVay really doesn't include rookies in that much in their first year. Obviously, we saw that with Cam Akers, and then he got a bulk of the load, and he will be the starter at running back. So that's a little bit of a different case, but most of the time Sean McVay really doesn't put a guy in that much in his rookie year, and he kind of finds ways to get it in there. But hearing guys rave about him, I guess the best comparison would definitely be Julio Jones or Michael Thomas. He's built around the same way. and his number one traits are those route runnings or the routes that he runs. And that's what like the most important thing. You got to get open to be able to catch the ball, and he's very good at doing that. He's great. He's even good with those curl routes and those out routes, which the Rams love to do. But he's also great in the post routes. Even I saw him in some of the screens in Florida when he was doing the screens. He was even explosive with that. So he's not the fastest guy, but he can still be explosive. So there's so much this guy brings to the table. I really want you guys to go check out his highlights in his film because honestly, it's hard just to describe, but my best words are to say he's like Julio Jones, like Michael Thomas. His route running's amazing. People say he's like a pro in the Rams already, and he treats himself like a pro and trains hard. And I think that this year is going to be his breakout year. I don't have a projected number. Maybe it could be like 800. I'll go 700 to 900 range around there because having Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Deshaun Jackson all in there already, it's kind of hard to get like all of them 1,000 yards. So, but I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. Honestly, I want to know what you think down below. Thank you so much for stopping into the Rams house. As always, horns up, and God bless, and have a great day.